What's that? So on today, things that's on my mind. I know y'all been seeing what's going on with the news as far as like what's going on with DEZ Bryant, and they talking about the coverage of you know black athletes versus our counterparts with what's going on with Josh Giddey. And I kind of seen Stephen A. respond. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Stephen A. Like I see a lot of people in our community call him a sellout and stuff like, and that's one of the things I have a problem with. In our community, is like we gotta march in lockstep. Like if you don't have the exact same views as somebody else, you automatically an enemy. We gotta get out of there. Like we can have difference of opinion. Like it's a lot of stuff, not a lot, because Stephen A. He keep it 100. It's a lot of stuff, in between. I might not agree with, but that's life. You're gonna disagree because it's not your viewpoint. That's what having somebody else's viewpoint is. Somebody else's opinion on a matter is. And but no way would I think of Stephen A. sellout. But I did see today where he kind of spoke up for, or not spoke up for Malika Andrews. I'll just say he spoke to the situation because I really think he was speaking up for the establishment and the way media is being portrayed in response to the way that DEZ Bryant called her out over the lack of coverage. I'll just say that it's been getting by her network and her in particular because of some of the strong comments she's had about the black athletes and what went on with Brandon Miller at draft night. And again, rest in peace to those involved in that tragic situation because a young child did lose their mother. So not condoning what Brandon Miller did or saying that story shouldn't have been covered to a certain extent. But I think DEZ Bryant was more so talking about the timing of it when it was introduced on draft night. And, I just look at how it's been going on, not an athlete, so to speak, but Jonathan Major, he in court right now. It was like he was at the peak, the pinnacle of his acting career, about to break through. And, how the coverage was with Ja Morant. No charges per se, but just dumb shit. Just out there moving like a kid, young man, just being wild. But the constant coverage and leading off the news cycle of every show. You got that. You got the email Doka. When that scandal happened, just the way she reported and just the vitriol in her voice and the energy she had when it was people of color. And all DEZ Bryant was saying, and Stephen A., all he said was, we have the responsibility to sit back and figure out all the information. But I think what he did was prove DEZ exactly right. That's what DEZ is saying. It's like before you even get all the information with us and before you get all the facts, we've already been tried in public court twice over. And the thing is, with Josh Giddey, it seemed like it's been this just effort to kind of wait for the facts and, like DEZ, like, man, fuck all that. Like, let's run it across the news feed like how y'all do us, like how Ja was running across. Even if you look at like Kyrie Irving, when all he did, he posted a link. And that led off First Take, and that led off other news cycles. And that was just based on this man's opinion. So now that we're saying, hey, we don't know the facts with Josh Giddey, but it's already been what? I think a picture surfaced, and then OKC not reporting it. He's not speaking on it. And the parents not speaking on it. And that's definitely their discretion, being that they have an underage child involved. But they're saying, okay, well, damn. If you report if we got a gun in our hand, a pistol or something like that, we not even, with the story with John, I don't think John would bust a firecracker, to be honest with you. And that's not in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying he see the hip-hop culture, he dancing with guns, stupid shit. But not in the danger anybody, to himself more so than anything. He's saying this heinous act has some validity to it, and y'all on hush. Y'all ain't saying shit. I think that's the problem DEZ Bryant had with Malika Andrews because of her strong stance and, you know, ready to run tail that when it was one of us. But now that it's a person that's not of color, everybody kind of laid back and let's wait. DEZ not saying that that shouldn't happen, but he's just saying it don't happen for us. And that's the reality of the situation. And that's why I think Stephen A missed it on this one, because DEZ is not wrong, because even if mainstream media, if you look at how a shooter is covered and the verb is using and the adjectives, it's not the same. We can't sit up here and bullshit that. And like I say, Stephen A one of them people that keep it 100. So he knows what DEZ saying, because he kind of highlighted in his response. He knows that what DEZ says has some validity to it, but I think he had a little problem with, and I don't want to speak for Stephen A. Dude got a mouthpiece, definitely can speak to itself for itself. But DEZ had a true problem with like some of the ways Malika Andrews went out of her way to go hard. And it's people seeing it, it's like, and he ain't just pulling it out his ass, like everybody's seen it. So it's some validity to that too. Now, the saying how she was growing up, I do disagree with that too. Like, everybody played a little wrong in the situation, because he didn't have to go there with it, but he was just saying, like, when you attack us, keep that same energy. That's all he's saying. So saying he wrong, or no matter how you try to box it up, what he's saying has some facts on it. So that's one of the things that's on my mind today, because I'm just looking at the comments back and forth, and a lot of people really understand exactly what they're saying. Like, I don't see how it could be misconstrued, because he didn't, besides the comment of growing up, bash what she did, is how she did it and who she did it to, and just called her out on it. And he ain't been the first person. He's just, when you got a voice, you know, everything it gets magnified. And he played with that star on his head. Everybody know Cowboys are brand. So even when you branch out from that brand, if you were one of the major Cowboys, you're going to carry a little more extra cachet than an ex-player just because you had that star on your head. But yo, I salute this for calling it out. And not so much the Malika Andrews, but the Malika Andrews spectrum of media and how we're covered as a whole. So it's just not a Malika Andrews, you know, it's singular. It's the Malika Andrews spectrum that he's saying the media portrays us in, and how that needs to be fixed. It needs to be corrected. So Stephen A, you're not totally wrong in what you're saying. You do have a job. You do have a responsibility to sit back and wait and get all the facts before you put out stories like that. But all that boy did saying is, hey, give us that same courtesy. And you know that. We all know that. But you know what I'm saying? Difference of opinion. But that's just my thoughts. That's just things that's on my mind today, man. AVG Podcast. Y'all stay up.